Hi, welcome to my presentation on how Virginia Woolf would feel about artificial intelligence. Machine learning is the subfield of artificial intelligence that can imitate intelligent human behavior and creative output. AI-generated art and writing can range from shockingly humanistic to completely nonsensical, and it has generated controversy as people consider that it is possible to pass AI-generated work off as one's own. It is important to note that AI cannot produce original art in the same way that people can, because the basis of machine learning is a large database of human work, usually visual or written work, which a computer program can learn by analyzing and applying patterns gathered from millions of samples. The idea and definition of consciousness is crucial to the concept of artificial intelligence, as we consider what it means to be able to create something and what counts as thought. Descartes' famous philosophical reasoning, translated from Latin to mean "I think, therefore I am," was the product of his methodic doubt. Descartes was troubled by the fallibility of human sensation, perception, and logic, but he believed that this thought was unique in containing proof of itself. If you are thinking about this statement, it necessarily must be true. This widely influential quote therefore defines consciousness by the capability of producing thought and is a useful basis for the question of artificial intelligence. Now, Virginia Woolf is known for her stream of consciousness style of writing, which permeates and blends the separate existences of many characters. Oftentimes, her writing is from an ambiguous perspective that may be the protagonist, the narrator, or another character. She spends a lot of time examining shared and separate realities, such as in Mrs. Dalloway, in which she meticulously tracks the thoughts and actions of Clarissa, Peter, and Septimus over the course of a single day. For example, as Clarissa steps away from her party to ponder the suicide of Septimus, a stranger to herself, she envisions herself in his body as he falls. She watches an elderly neighbor through the window, and she recalls a favorite memory with a former lover. So many pieces of herself and others are beautifully and tragically intertwined. Woolf also frequently questions tangible reality, as in The Mark on the Wall, where she writes, "I might get up, but if I got up and looked at it 10 to 1, I shouldn't be able to say for certain, because once the thing's done, no one ever knows how it happened." Through her writing style and in her explorations of time, subjective experience, memory, and ignorance, Woolf brings our attention to the ways in which our understandings of one another are limited and colored by our own feelings and positionality. However, her omniscient narration also allows us to imagine an expansive collective consciousness, an inseparable humanity between us all, and to find value in specific perception rather than decide that one person's experience is worthless for being subjective. So, how would Virginia Woolf feel about machine learning and AI-generated art and writing? An important point to remember is that while artificial intelligence can recognize and reproduce patterns, it cannot understand what it is creating, nor can it edit or refine the work that it puts out. The general result is that while AI can efficiently produce informational text or simple images, it cannot produce creative work of high quality with any consistency, or possibly at all. As an author who would spend years perfecting a single manuscript and wrestling with the subtleties of language and character, Woolf almost certainly would have rejected the notion that any worthwhile art or literature can be produced without significant reflection and editing. She might have been inclined to view AI as an interesting thought experiment, she was certainly fond of those, or as a useful juxtaposition to quality human art. She was an open critic even of highly regarded authors, so it seems wildly unlikely that she would have put much stock in AI artwork. As an example, here's an AI-generated image of young Virginia Woolf reading a book, and this one seems to have reasonably hit the mark. AI certainly can produce interesting, if simplistic, content. See here Clarissa Dalloway's party and Vita in Virginia. But consider this image also that was created, Virginia Woolf's lover. There is a tendency for AI to be able to create vibrant art that is nonetheless empty of meaning or artistic personality. Virginia Woolf would have laughed at AI creative writing, which tends to be as poor quality as AI artwork. Yes, a machine can learn how to generate what seem to be the trappings of a story, but the product is consistently hollow and meaningless with no interesting thought to contribute. Perhaps Woolf would be more interested in our society's dependence on technology to manage the daily tasks of life than in the advancements of the technology itself.